One of the most astonishing miracles recorded in the Bible is the moment when Jesus walked on water. This event, found in Matthew chapter 14 verse 22-33, has fascinated believers and skeptics alike for centuries. Some see it as a supernatural display of divine power, while others question whether there is a deeper meaning behind the event. Was this simply a demonstration of Jesus' authority over nature, or is there something more to be understood? Could this miracle hold symbolic lessons for faith, trust, and the storms we face in life? In this video, we will explore the full account of this miracle, break down its meaning, and uncover the powerful message it carries for us today. The story of Jesus walking on water takes place after another incredible miracle, the feeding of the 5,000. After this event, Jesus tells his disciples to get into a boat and cross the Sea of Galilee, while he stays behind to pray. As the disciples row further out into the sea, a violent storm begins to form. The wind becomes strong, and the waves start crashing against the boat. They struggle against the storm for hours, unable to make progress. Then, in the fourth watch of the night, which is between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m., something extraordinary happens. Through the crashing waves and fierce winds, the disciples see a figure walking toward them on the water. Fear grips them. They cry out, believing they are seeing a ghost. But then, a familiar voice speaks through the storm, "Take courage. It is I, do not be afraid." This moment marks one of the most powerful displays of Jesus' divine nature. Jesus did not perform miracles just for the sake of showing his power. Every miracle he performed carried a deeper spiritual lesson. So why did he walk on water? First, this miracle revealed his divine authority over nature. The Bible teaches that only God has control over the elements. In Job chapter 9 verse 8, it says, "He alone stretches out the heavens and treads on the waves of the sea." By walking on water, Jesus was demonstrating his divine power, proving that he was not just a great teacher, but the Son of God. Second, this event was a test of faith for the disciples. They had just seen Jesus perform a miracle by feeding 5,000 people, yet here they were, terrified by the storm. Jesus was showing them that faith requires trust, even when things seem impossible. Finally, it symbolized God's presence in the midst of our struggles. The disciples were caught in a storm, feeling alone and helpless. But Jesus came to them, walking on the very thing that threatened to destroy them. This was a powerful message that no matter what storms we face in life, God is always with us. One of the most remarkable parts of this story is what happens next. Peter, seeing Jesus on the water, calls out, "Lord, if it is you, tell me to come to you on the water." Jesus responds with a single word, "Come." Peter steps out of the boat and begins to walk on the water toward Jesus. For a brief moment, Peter experiences something supernatural. His faith allows him to defy the storm, just as Jesus did. But then, something changes. Peter takes his eyes off Jesus and focuses on the storm around him. Fear grips him, and he begins to sink. He cries out, "Lord, save me." Jesus immediately reaches out his hand, catches Peter, and says, "You have little faith, why did you doubt?" This part of the story teaches us a powerful lesson. When Peter's focus was on Jesus, he was able to do the impossible. But the moment he let fear take over, he began to sink. Faith is about keeping our eyes on God, even when the storm around us seems overwhelming. After saving Peter, Jesus and Peter step back into the boat. The moment Jesus enters, the storm completely stops. The disciples, overwhelmed by what they had just witnessed, fall to their knees and declare, "Truly, you are the Son of God." This is the first time in Scripture where the disciples openly worship Jesus as the Son of God. This miracle wasn't just about calming a storm, it was about revealing Jesus' true identity. The miracle of Jesus walking on water isn't just a story from the past, it carries deep meaning for us today. The storm represents the challenges, fears, and struggles we all face. Sometimes life feels overwhelming, like the waves are crashing in, and no matter how hard we row, we can't make progress. Jesus walking on water reminds us that God is greater than any storm we face. No matter how bad things seem, he is always in control. Peter's experience teaches us about faith and doubt. When we keep our eyes on Jesus, we can do the impossible. But when we let fear take over, we start to sink. The key is to trust him, even when things don't make sense. The moment Jesus entered the boat and the storm ceased, the disciples knew who he truly was. In our lives, we must ask ourselves, are we inviting Jesus into our situation? Are we trusting that he can bring peace in the middle of chaos? So, how did Jesus walk on water? He did it to show his power over nature, to strengthen the faith of his disciples, and to teach us that God is always with us in life's storms. The question isn't whether Jesus can perform miracles. The real question is, do we trust him enough to step out of the boat? If you're facing a storm in your life, remember that Jesus is walking toward you, just as he did for the disciples. He is ready to bring peace, to lift you up when you fall, and to remind you that you are never alone. What storms are you facing today? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more biblical insights.